Good morning, Singapore. It's Glenn, Angel, FD, and Shaun. Welcome to The Big Show. We are also live on The Big Show TV. That's our Facebook page, 1FM 91.3, as well as The Big Show Facebook page. Did you see that?
Yes.
Balancing act?
Wonderful. Glenn, the ball balancer.
Yeah, not easy, you know.
Yeah, you would only see it if you're tuned in now live on our Facebook page.
Yes, correct.
On 1FM 913, as well as The Big Show.
You want to try with a bigger ball?
No thanks. That's so dirty, that ball. Yeah.
All right, good morning to Dr. Geraldine Tan of the Therapy Room.
Good morning. Very happy to be back.
How are you this morning? New haircut and everything.
Yes. And we are going to talk about hair today.
Oh, perfect timing.
Yes,
Boys are talking
but
about their hair every day.
Who's talking about hair every day?
The boys.
Oh,
always.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Oh, no.
Oh, man. Okay, for those people who are watching us live on Big Show TV, whoa, check out Shaun's hair.
I'll join you, Dr. Jerry, with the
bangs.
hair, don't care.
But right now, for the benefit of people who are just listening to us on the radio, we're going to be talking about Trichotillomania today. What is that?
Trichotillomania is a disorder that is in the DSM, so it is a medical condition, and they pull their hair, so they cannot stop pulling their hair, and it cannot be explained away by any medical condition. The hair is not falling out, and they can't stop it. Yeah.
So what is it? It's a frustration thing.
Well, in the past, they thought that it was a frustration thing, right? So hence the phrase, tearing my hair out. So a lot in English literature, in our writings, we would say, I just feel like tearing my hair out. But then it became, a psychiatric disorder where they discovered that people were pulling their hair by choice. And although it is a medical issue, right? They were still pulling their hair.
Is it also very similar to biting on your fingernails or fiddling, and things like that?
So you have the body-focused repetitive behavior. So that would classify under that category. Yeah, so nail biting, hair pulling, skin picking, those that kind of pick their nail, pick their skin. Yeah, different, even pimple popping, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's a thing on YouTube, actually.
It's a big thing.
It's a big thing on YouTube.
People love to watch this.
Oh, it's so gross.
Like to do it and watch it.
I know, that's disgusting.
They feel that it's satisfying.
Yeah. Hey, but
when it comes out, right?
But back to what do you call pulling your hair, right? I think it's quite satisfying, especially when you're having a headache. So sometimes you massage your temples and all that, and if you're really having a terrible headache, right? If you pull your hair a little bit, you feel some relief.
Yeah, but you're talking about pulling hair. Jerry is talking about pulling your hair out.
No lah.
Yes,
As
out.
in tearing?
Yes.
People who tear their hair out?
Pulling the hair out, actually.
Oh.
So you see some guys and girls, they like to twirl their hair.
Yes.
So that is for some of them is the start, and then I have dripping hair. Oh my gosh!
Everyone loses hair
That's
every day.
awful.
That's terrible.
Okay, we're talking to Dr. Geraldine Tan from the Therapy Room this morning about Trichotillomania, which is the ripping out of your hair. We'll continue this conversation live on Facebook, but right now here's Annie Lennox, Walking on Broken Glass, 1FM's Big Show, 1FM 91.3. Good morning.
So, Jerry, trichotillomania, the ripping out of your hair. You said that twirling your hair was the start. I always thought that was just a reaction.
Girl's thing?
It's a girl's thing. Don't they just twirl their hair when they're like talking to a guy they like?
They do sometimes, yeah.
If you got long hair also.
Yes. So body language, you're twirling your hair, you're acting coy.
Yeah.
But for these people, they're not trying to act coy. They are actually trying to soothe themselves by doing a repetitive behavior. So it could be anxiety, that they are doing that, and it's very subconscious.
So it's not a worry for everyone who twirls their hair that it's going to turn into hair pulling, right?
No,
Okay,
no.
all right.
Yeah. You still can continue to twirl your hair and act coy.
And when you're talking to a boy, you're like, so when does it become a problem? I mean, when does that turn into that and what causes it?
So pulling out your hair is not natural, but some of them actually search for a certain type of texture of hair, and they literally pull out the hair.
So they're doing this one at a time or a few at a time? I don't get it because I've never experienced
Most of them
this.
that I have pull out one at a time. And they say that it's very satisfying. Do not pull your hair.
I'm not pulling. I'm just saying that I can see where it's coming from because the difficulty of actually just getting one strand
Yeah.
is hard.
Right.
Because they're so fine, right?
Yeah.
So to get that one strand, and then when they get it, it's kind of like that achievement that they've got it, and they pull it out. I can
Lord.
see that. I can. See that.
I think the only way to justify, pulling out your hair one strand at a time is if you're pulling out the gray ones. So if you've got gray strands of hair, right, and I think my parents have done this. I've seen them do it before when I was growing
Yeah.
up. They'll look for like a
One
strand
stray, yeah.
that's gray, and they'll pull it out,
Yeah, I think that's normal for a lot of people.
right?
Sure.
It's normal, but you're actually not supposed to pull even your gray hair. Do you know that?
Really, why?
You hurt the hair follicle,
Oh.
and it dies.
Oh.
So
And then you go bald
Yep.
as a result of
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
So you want to be as handsome as FD.
Oh, wow.
Leave
Thank you.
your hair there.
Right.
Leave your hair
Silver
natural.
fox.
Yeah. Silver
Right.
fox. There you go. Yeah.
Not silver fox lah, white fox.
Oi.
Polar bear.
Can I just stay with the silver fox, please?
I almost pulled this one white hair on my goatee.
Leave it.
I call him Anderson Cooper. But
There you see, you have a name for it. Leave it. How
Actually, can you imagine? I've been working with FD since his hair was all black,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah.
never seen it.
and
So-
now it's all
did
white.
you color your hair when you started going gray?
No.
No?
I have always said if I go gray, I go gray.
Which is good.
Wow.
That's nice.
It doesn't bother me at all. But you can understand why I'm gray because, Glenn and I have worked with each other for so long.
Thanks, bro.
Oh dear. I caught that.
So how can we tackle trichotillomania?
Trichotillomania, yep. I mean, it's first discovered not by the person themselves. I mean, they might feel that it is wrong, but it is also very calming. So the people around them start to realize it, right? When patches start to appear on their scalp, because they would go to, especially if you're doing your homework and your hand goes to one spot only, and so that part will have a bald patch. So your hairdresser would probably be the first person to notice. There was one of the kids where the swim coach actually found that out because you have to go into the water and the water parts your hair, right? Yeah. So that's how they discover it, because it is a very isolating sort of disorder where you do it privately and you try and hide the disorder. So it's not subconscious, but you hide the disorder.
So, go on.
Sorry, Angel. So what we're saying is this starts in children.
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
Yes, there is no age limit for this disorder. So you can have children really young, to start picking on their hair. And hair, right, is not limited to the hair on your scalp. It can be anywhere. So you hear Shaun saying he wanted to pull his beard. Possible also.
Right.
Some people are really particular about their eyebrows, but this is over. So they would pluck until
Overpluck, yeah.
they can't stop. Yeah. And they would find ingrown hair to try and pluck it out until it's sore.
Right.
So that's an issue as well. I mean, everyone grooms their eyebrows.
Everyone grooms, but you don't groom them every day. You don't groom it until you have, your skin is sore and
yeah.
broken. Yeah. Some people, I think, Joel was asking about like armpit hair. armpit hair is hair.
Yeah, of course.
No,
People don't pluck arm.
Yeah, that's
Sure
why.
they do. No,
Sean
as
has no
a
hair under his
condition.
armpits already.
Or
Or is
too
it
much
because you shaved
information.
Too much information. So, like, okay, now I've lost my train of thought.
Like for me, I shave my armpits, right? Because I mean, we work out quite a bit,
Yes.
so it's
No,
yeah.
this is plucking your hair,
Tweezing,
pulling out
tweezing,
your
yeah.
hair.
This is
Maybe
different
next time
from
we'll try.
grooming.
We won't shave. We just pull.
You know that it's actually better?
Huh?
You know it's
To
actually
pull?
better? Yes. Because-
Jerry is just saying it's not good
No,
for
no,
the
no,
follicles.
no, it's fine for the follicles, like under your arms and all that, because pulling, if you don't want regrowth, not for your head, obviously. If you don't
Okay.
want regrowth under your arms, then pulling from the root is actually better than shaving because you're only
Wow.
cutting it off at the surface.
Surface, yeah.
Is it the
Which-
same as waxing though?
Yes, it's the same as
Because
waxing because you
waxing
pull the root out. Yeah.
I mean, for us guys, it's not an issue, lah. You know.
wax
But
your
for,
pits.
for ladies who are constantly going for IPL treatments and all that can be quite expensive.
It can.
So the easier thing to do is just to
Wax.
Wax or tweeze, which is very time consuming. Take it from me. And
I see.
But okay, so sorry, Glenn. So how do you stop someone from trichotillomania?
I was about to suggest, actually, I was just about to say this, right? It's easier to solve this issue with the children. It's a bit harder to solve it if it's an adult we're talking about here.
Okay, you ask the question again.
Okay,
on
Ken.
air. Stand by.
Radio. It's Glenn, Angel, FD, and Sean. That was Neo with So Sick right here on 1FM 91.3's Big Show. We're talking to Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room, and we're talking about trichotillomania, which is the act of ripping out your hair. And this is a psychological issue which affects children as well as adults. Okay.
Yep.
So I was just about
Yep.
to say this, right? I think it's easier to solve this problem in children rather than adults. You know how?
How?
He has the answer.
Once your kid has a problem like that, shave the
the
kid
head.
bald. But you see, with the adult, you can't make the adult shave.
Yeah,
You
you
hold them down
themselves
and
bald.
shave
You
their
can't
head.
shave your
But
kid
isn't
bald
it
either.
true? If your kid is pulling his or her hair, just shave them bald.
See your face.
No.
No, it's the 95% that you cannot believe, Glenn.
Oh. But why not? It's a quick fix. What?
It is a quick fix, but it doesn't get down to the root of the problem.
Ah, pun intended. Yeah.
Literally and figuratively.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't have a bald child for the rest of its life because you'll have to continue shaving his head.
No, it's like either you slap the kid's hand whenever the kid tries to pull his hair out,
Or you shave.
or you shave.
It's like
That's
putting
how I.
medicated oil on the fingernails
From
so
biting.
the kid doesn't bite.
Oh,
So
no.
let's hear from the expert. How do we stop a child from trichotillomania?
Telomania. So actually shaving is one of the methods, but it is a quick fix. It's like a band-aid, right? But you need to get down to the root of the problem, which sometimes is high anxiety. So we see a lot of them having very high anxiety. That's why they need to soothe themselves by pulling their hair or doing certain behaviors that calm them down. So we need to find out what causes the anxiety. So there was an 8-year-old which was really, really happy. In a few months, he was all great. He stopped pulling his hair. He just moved to Singapore at that point in time, and he was a bit trying to settle in his school, having some adjustment issues. Mom also was very, very highly anxious. So what I did was a double prong where I processed what was going in school, settled him into Singapore, and then the mom who was really high in anxiety, we worked through some of her anxieties also. So then he stopped pulling his hair. So very happy.
Oh, so it was almost like the overflow of the mom's anxiety that got the kid anxious as well.
Yep. Yep. So we affect each other and we don't realize that, right? Yeah. So for this little boy, he felt the anxiety of the move. He felt the anxiety of the new environment. He felt the anxiety of the mom, and we
Right.
dealt with those issues.
Okay, so the
done.
next time, tell him to pull his mom's hair. if his mom is causing him to be anxious.
But it's not satisfying. They need to feel
Oh, I
it.
see.
They need to feel it, you see.
I'm missing the point.
You clearly are.
When we come back, I have a comment to read from our Facebook page, and I'd like to see what Jerry has to say about that.
Well,
So, Jerry, a message on our Facebook page from Moll. She says, I used to do that. I would always find that one strand of thick, hard, or wriggly hair among the many and pull it out. It was satisfying for me at the time, but now as an adult, my hair is thin as a result. My teenage daughter has the same tendency now. So what does Moll do?
but I can't relate to this because, I mean, if you do this, right, your hair all feels the same one. Where is there like a rougher one or a thicker one or a thinner one?
I think they're very meticulous in their feeling because they
Yeah.
get used to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So for some of us, I think maybe Glenn might not have that. For us who have longer hair, sometimes the ends get knotted. You know, and then we try to unknot it and pull on it and yank on it, and then after a while, there's one or two, and we go like, yeah, never mind, and just
Pull
rip it.
yeah.
Break it up.
Yeah. Don't start pulling it. So what does
No, don't start doing that.
I'm just feeling. See if
Yeah, but those with really, really curly hair, natural curls, right? Those with lovely, lovely frizz, they have different textured hair. Do you know that?
Yes.
So when you actually touch, they have different types of hair, and they can isolate the hair for you to go and feel it. And it feels quite lovely, but they pull it out completely. Yeah, just to feel it at the root and not the hair texture.
Yeah.
So trichotillomania, they actually pull out the hair to feel the pain. Actually, they don't feel pain. They just feel that yanking
pull.
movement out. Yeah.
So how does this mother stop her daughter from having the same so-called habit that she had when she was growing up?
The anxiety can be hereditary, or it can be in the environment. So perhaps finding out what is affecting the child. You know, and I think there are some other ways. Let's go into some of the strategies, right? Habit reversal. If I'm feeling, stress, what can I do? What can I do to calm myself? So they can kind of deflect and go to another method. So now one of the methods is using a fidget toy. There's so many fidget toys out there just to hold it. And I particularly love the switch type where it goes up and down. Just don't get, it goes tick tock, and
I call it my pen.
Yeah, I have one too. But that makes a sound, you see. Yanking your hair don't make a sound and is discreet enough. So you need to find something that has those qualities, that is discreet, that is, very personal, that does not involve any other person.
Okay.
So Moll has come back, Jerry, and said that her daughter has a tendency of pulling hair, but also picking at her hangnails.
Yes.
She says she feels that her daughter may be stressed with too much homework. She says it may be, the stress may come from the education system. Should she be talking to her teachers?
If it has come to this point where it is dysfunctional, you're pulling your hair, you're picking your skin until, you can see blood. That is an issue. It may not be a disorder yet, but it is an issue that it is affecting them, that something is affecting them, and we need to kind of help them with it.
Homeschool your kid. I say that is the
Glenn,
solution. Homeschool.
Yeah. Now I have a question. So if you stop a child or anybody from pulling their hair, would they then move on to something else that handles their anxiety? So are these habits? Well, I keep calling them habits, but I know they're not. Are they interchangeable?
Yes. So it could be trichotillomania. I also have issues pronouncing it, but trichotillomania, is a disorder by itself. But body focused repetitive behavior can be anything at all. So if, let's say, the underlying disorder is anxiety, it can morph from one thing to another thing. So it can morph from hair pulling, to skin picking, to picking, their lips. Some people pick on their dry skin on their lips, to scratching.
Okay.
Yeah. So they scratch themselves, and they will tell you that there is something there. And it's always a mosquito bite, it's always a scar, it's something or other.
And always on the same spot. So then it starts getting sore, right?
On the same spot, so there was one adult, a guy that had a really huge mole there, but it wasn't a mold, it was a huge hump of dead skin.
Ooh.
Because he constantly picked on it. But others could be spotted, what the older generation called 5 cent, 10 cents, where they just pick on
everything
the skin,
that's there, yeah.
randomly.
Right.
Yeah, and the whole skin is like spotted.
Yeah. I've seen actually a lot of adults and children like that.
Maybe one thing that'll be quite satisfying to them is maybe going to a tattoo artist and tattooing over all those scars and marks. What do you think?
I don't know. That's kind of covering up, but it's still there, right?
Yeah.
You've got to deal
it's
with the issue.
Yeah,
I think.
it's covering up what is already
Back to
still
the issue
there.
again.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but it's interesting. It's interesting that Jerry brings this up because as you guys have been talking, I've been thinking when my parents split up. I got into, and I was 16, I got into really bad nail biting. To a point where I would bite to a point where it hurt.
He still bites his nails.
I do, but not as
from time
bad.
to time. When we're alone together, he bites his nails.
Yeah, because Glenn stresses
He
me
gets
out.
nervous with you.
It's a stress thing. When I'm stressed, I tend to.
I have seen you nibble on your nails, actually.
I bite my nails and I pick the skin on the side of my thumbs.
We need to get you gloves,
Yeah, I do that.
mittens. Because that's what they do for babies as well. So we give you some
Quite
mittens.
interesting. That
But he
is-
shouldn't be going through that. What, Jerry? I think you need to see FD. At this point in his life, he shouldn't be doing that already. What?
I think we all need coffee therapy.
Send help and coffee.
Yes,
Send help
there
and
you
coffee.
go.
Tautology, baby.
Tautology.
Jerry's ready to meet all of us, but over a cup of coffee.
No, but you see,
That'll be nice.
This is another thing. I disagree with Glenn. I think you will have stress and anxiety no
At
matter how
any
old.
age. Yeah, I don't
Always.
think it's
It
a...
just comes in different forms and for different reasons.
Yeah, but not nail biting.
No, I think there's
It's how you
no
deal with
should
it.
or anything.
It's
yeah.
how you deal with it.
Anyway, I think biting your fingernails is not a problem. When you're starting to bite your toenails, then there's a problem there. What do you think?
Okay, Glenn.
What do we do with this guy, Jerry?
It's called a
I don't know.
rhetorical
I think-
question. Don't answer.
He needs to try that. Have you tried doing yoga?
What do you mean, a Pilates reformer?
I can do it. No, I'm that flexible. I can suck on my toe.
I think he
If
was
I really
very,
wanted
very
to,
close
if I wanted
You
to.
were very close to someone else's foot in your face yesterday, weren't you? Don't suck on someone else's toes.
Jerry. Yuck. Jerry.
I mean,
You started it.
Only live on the Big Show TV.
You'll never hear this anywhere else. Yeah, okay. What did you do yesterday? Sucked on some toes. But Jerry, here's the thing, and it's been brought up by Damien. This this condition. Okay, I tell you what. We're gonna go. We're
Going
gonna
back.
traffic, then you can ask the question.
after
Yeah.
traffic. I need to ask you a question on the
Let me
development.
backsell
of
this
problem.
song expertly right now. Good morning, it's Dr. Geraldine Tan, Glenn, Angel, FD, and Shaun on the Big Show because it is Tuesday. So it's Therapy Tuesday, and after Jerry, we'll be joined by Julian Cole from SG Carmart. But for now, we're tackling Trichotillomania.
I love that, Lisa. I don't have to pronounce the word.
Yeah.
So, Jerry, this condition of pulling hair, or as we mentioned, some people also pick at their skin and all that. Is this a form of something we've talked about before when we dealt with body harm?
Body harm.
You mean maybe we
Body
were cutting
dysmo-
by body
Self-harm.
self-harm?
Self-harm.
Yeah. Is it under the
Related.
Related?
It's slightly no. It actually is not. It
Okay.
comes under obsessive compulsive disorder and is one of the related disorder.
Okay.
So it's OCD.
Right. Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it comes under that umbrella of the obsessiveness, the compulsiveness. Yeah, and it can be fueled by anxiety. It can be fueled by depression, even ADHD, where they have poor impulse control.
Wow.
So, how does one help themselves? I know there are people that can spot from around you that may notice that you're doing it, but if you take a long time to know that you're suffering from trichotillomania, how do you help yourself?
So one of the methods, I mean, very, very behaviorally, right? They do try different things. When you talked about putting the gloves on, so that kind of, impedes access to the scalp or wherever that they are picking. For the lady that was plucking her eyebrow, I think the family members kept the tweezers
Yeah.
and banned her from actually buying any other sort of tweezers. For those that are a little bit more obvious, at home we actually have them wear a shower cap
Oh, wow.
again to
Wow.
limit access to their scalp.
Okay.
Yeah, but when when the problem is not dealt with, that means the emotional problem is not dealt with. They start to find
Other
ways
ways,
around it. Yeah. So one, we did put the shower cap, and then the next time she came, I realized over here and at the bottom was bald, and I was like, "Hey, I thought," and she was very clever. She said, "Yeah, but I didn't touch the rest." But what happened was the shower cap only covers to a certain point, right? So her little fingers went in and started pulling on it. Yeah. As she was doing her work, as she was trying to sort out things. Yeah, or at the top there.
And how old is this lady?
I think early 20s, 19, 20.
Okay, so besides the shower cap, taking the tweezers away, are there any treatments for this?
Definitely. So we have family therapy. The entire family comes in because it is we want to use the whole family unit as a resource for them. And sometimes the source of the anxiety can be within the family. So we do, just like the 8-year-old boy, right? One of the sources of anxiety is the mother. So we want everybody to heal together, because the behavior is only a symptom of something larger. For them, we do use a lot of CBT, which is cognitive behavioral therapy. We work through that whole distorted thinking, and work on their behavior also. If things have happened in the past, psychotherapy.
All right.
Psychotherapy, right?
I saw the red card.
Yes, we're talking to Dr. Geraldine Tan from the therapy room right here on 1FM 91.3. We are live on The Big Show TV as well. And, this is what we're about, right, on The Big Show. We're trying to make a difference in people's lives. We're trying to heal. We're trying to brighten up everyone's day. And that's why we have people like Dr. Geraldine Tan on the show. Moving on with Inner Circle right now. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Here's Sweat a la 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 long on 1FM 91.3. It's The Big Show.
I've been watching you.
Gotta get rid of this damn spotlight, no? I can only see inner. I can't see the circle, right? So I said inner city. Okay.
So, Jerry, we're talking about trichotillomania. Is there a specific demographic that this hits? Or is it could hit anybody?
It could hit anyone, the little ones, the teens, the adults, across all the developmental ages. It doesn't have eyes. It doesn't choose. As long as you have hair, it probably, I can't think of it now that I said it. I don't know whether dogs have trichotillomania.
I think they do. They do,
when
but
they're nibbling?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
now
also
that I think of that.
Yeah.
my biscuit does that from time to time. you know.
And it's nothing, no itch, nothing that's causing it, you think?
Well,
know what, right?
you know, I've changed his diet because I think
Is he
you know, it
vegan
could
now?
be. No, he's not. He's not.
Only on Mondays.
Only on Mondays.
But he
meatless
only
Monday.
eats fresh food now.
Okay,
so,
that's good.
So yeah, but I think he can get a little anxious sometimes, and I think as he grows older, you know, he's doing a little bit more of that. So
But
he's got like a little bit of a patch now. But then again, I mean, he's older now, so you know,
I
with
think-
age comes these issues.
It also has to do with his dog type, though, because he's a
Jack Russell Terrier,
right?
yeah.
And Jack Russells have a lot of pent up energy, and they're always very anxious and on guard almost.
Yeah.
So I think they're naturally like that.
Right, unlike a Pomeranian or something.
Pomeranians as well, aren't they?
Really?
Aren't
The
they
smaller
like,
ones are.
Yeah, they're like yappy. Anyway, but I think what would help also is putting him out in a big field and letting him run, like every now and then, because they need to pent. That energy
Yeah.
needs to
Yeah.
be released.
Jerry,
And actually, it's quite true, yeah, because, you know, one of the things that we want them to do is to get out, do different things, get their hands engaged, get the energy going.
Distracted,
you know,
right?
rather than keeping all the energy in. That's true.
They need to take up Muay Thai. See, that's what I've been saying.
Jerry, before we get into your last words on this topic, because it's been really, really good, I just want to tell you, we got a message earlier this morning from Aloysius, who said, thank you very much for taking time out to speak to his daughter.
Wonderful.
Oh,
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 ah, there
not-
you go.
That's wonderful. So once again, I say, you know, people have to understand the objective of the big show. It's a very, very different show. You know, some people ask us, why do we have so many guests, you know, in the week? Why do we have like Julian? Why do we have Geraldine? Why do we have Sito? Why do we have, you know, Adrian? It's because, you know, I think it's very, very important. Time is so precious to everyone. So when they switch on their radio sets, you know, they better get something that's going to help them.
Valuable, yeah.
Something that's of value. And that's why we want to thank you once again, Jerry, for coming on the show every single week.
my pleasure, my pleasure.
Do you have any
And-
last words?
I found a quote online. I have a new hairstyle today. It's called "I tried," and that's enough. It's really just good enough.
It's very
Nicely
nice. I
said.
like your new hairstyle, by the
I
way.
think it's great.
I
I
have a new hairstyle today.
It's called I Tried. Very nice.
Stole it off the internet.
It's okay. Everything on the internet is free, so.
Thanks, Jerry.
Thanks,
Stay
Jerry.
awesome. We'll see you next week.
I'll see you. Hi, Julian. Bye, Julian.
Hi, Julian. Bye, Julian.
Ciao.
Bye.